Should you be doing networking coffee dates with other business owners to build your business? Find out what I think about that coming up next. I wanted to just kind of touch on, it may not necessarily be an exchange of services, but it could be just an exchange of time over coffee or lunch or something like that, where you're getting to know someone with the intention of, again, building your network. I would also encourage you to be very strategic about where you're spending your time over coffee or lunch as well, because it isn't ever as small as a 15-minute coffee. There's travel that's taking into account here, which is travel usually taking you out away from your practice. Then there's travel back, and then there's, waiting in line for the coffee. So this 15-minute encounter ends up being an hour or so of your time that could have been billable in another way, shape, or form, even if it was just marketing or doing a live video or something to that nature that's going to help to build your practice. Creating these relationships is incredibly important. And I am certainly not trying to disengage you from doing these things. All I'm just saying is, if you could meet over Zoom or Skype and build a relationship that way, and maybe have recurring calls that way, that will be a much better use of both of your time if all you're trying to do is get to know each other and create a relationship kind of face to face. If you are within the same practice, well, it's really easy to build a relationship between patients, or if you have a little bit of time off where you don't have to leave the location. I have a number of people that are asking me to go for coffee or network with them or brainstorm with them on ways that we can work together. And the old me definitely would have taken advantage of all of those things, because you always will feel very popular and, you're creating these dates on your calendar and it feels like you're getting things done and it feels like you're being very productive. But in the end, very rarely do those relationships pay off in the beginning, and talk is cheap. So everyone will always over embellish what they're going to do, and usually they under deliver. And I can even say that from my perspective, where I've met other people and said, oh, sure, it sounds great, I would love to refer my patients to you. And it just doesn't come about, again, because I'm not thinking about them, because it isn't top of mind, because I don't have a direct relationship with that person. I maybe met them once or twice. So even when it comes to coffee dates where I have to leave location or drive out to see people, I can't even remember the last time I did that now, because I'm just so coveting my time, and your time is one of your most valuable resources. So in summary, if you are going to be exchanging time with other practitioners with the hopes of building your network or network of referrals, I would strongly encourage you to, number one, really strategically think about how deep this relationship is actually going to go. Is this going to be sort of a superficial one, or do you see this lasting a long time? If it's a long-standing relationship, then that's a much better use of your time than someone who's just in passing that you saw at a trade show or met at a networking event or a conference. For those instances, I would start with more like FaceTime or Zoom, or just doing sort of computer calls that way. If you want to exchange your time for free, I would probably reserve that for the people that are in your immediate practice and not those that are external. Now, again, as I said at the very beginning, take all of my opinions with a grain of salt. All I'm just trying to think of is, how can we use your time, again, your most precious commodity, to your best intent. And I do find that people can be a huge suck of your time, and you just won't get the return.